The man picked up a piece of super soap and gently wiped it across a dirty cloth. In an instant, the dirty cloth turned pure white. But then, he poured a bucket of red paint all over the white cloth. He grabbed the soap and wiped it again, and the cloth once more became spotless white. The crowd watching praised him in amazement. At that moment, a woman quickly bought a piece. She rubbed it all over herself. The clothes instantly turned white. The effect was absolutely astonishing. Soon, a long line of people formed in front of the stall, eager to buy the soap. Even the monks in the temple, who were supposed to live a life of restraint, couldn't resist the temptation and turned their colorful robes into plain white ones. The man quickly made a fortune, expanding from a tiny stall into a small supermarket, and eventually building a full-fledged super soap company. A hesitant grandfather and grandson watched the man grow step by step. In the end, they couldn't resist the temptation either. They reluctantly spent all their savings just to buy a single bar of super soap. Finally, their clothes too turned into the same monotonous white as everyone else's. In the past, weddings and funerals were easy to tell apart, but by then, you could hardly distinguish one from the other. People gradually realized how serious the problem had become and started to feel exhausted by the color white. Just then, a brightly dressed little girl caught everyone's attention. The crowd followed her, and before they knew it, they had arrived at the once super soap company. Because the little girl was none other than the man's daughter, and that once super soap company had now transformed into the super paint company. The man picked up a piece of red soap and wiped it across a cloth. Instantly, the white cloth turned red. Then he tried yellow, then blue. The crowd watched in fascination, completely captivated. Without hesitation, they lined up all over again, and just like that, after going in circles, people's clothes were back to being colorful as before, but the money in their pockets had all ended up in the man's hands.